had given up. That's one thing that you need to learn. If you're being bullied, it's not forever.
I'm so proud to introduce to you Daniel, who has been with us since our very, very first Ireland's Got Curve show. I don't know how many of you here were with us out in the airport. Yeah, you were, yeah? And it's a great support, and it's a fantastic support with somebody with such a huge following on social media who just absolutely breathes positivity and gives positivity messages to a lot of people. So he's flown in here for you today, and I'd love you to put your hands together and welcome Mr. Daniel Euan Henderson.
So welcome. Hi, how are you? I'm Daniel. Thank you for the amazing intro there. I was just watching the brides coming in there, and I literally would marry every single one of them. But yeah, a pleasure to be back here. This speech is going to be in 3 parts. The first part is going to be about me. The second part is going to be about you. And the third part is going to be how we are going to break through together as a team. So I want to take you on a wee journey, and we're going to go back in a time machine to 2014, when I was just starting off. I made videos online, and it was just kind of stupid. I just started off making like silly vines where I'd go and like slag off my ex-girlfriend, and I'd do these. They were just really kind of cheap videos. I didn't know why I did it. I dropped out of acting school. I was in a kind of like no man's land. My dad kind of thought, what are you doing in your life? What's your purpose? What do you kind of want to achieve, basically? And so I was kind of nervous and anxious all the time, and I had acne, and I was just really, really down and depressed, and I was 19 years old as well, so it was quite a hard time. And I did a video called "Your Insecurities and Your Imperfections Are Your Perfections," and that was one video that was a little bit more positive than all the kind of stupid, kind of viney rubbish that I was making. And one person messaged me and they said, "That's absolutely changed my life. That's made me feel happy about myself." And I thought, you know what, nobody messaged me that about all the other videos that I did. So I started off by doing more of those videos, and it started off being more about like curvy girls and plus size, and your size doesn't matter, and all these things. And more people got in touch with me. They were saying, "This has helped me. I'm being bullied at school." And I know all about that because I was bullied for my acne, you know, pizza face, you name it, like all of these things. And it was just something I felt like I had a little bit something to do. I didn't make any money from it. For years I didn't do anything like that. It was all just because I wanted to make a difference in just one person's life. So from this speech, if I can change or help any of you with your story, that's me, done my job. Just one person, and that person, I hope, might be you. If you. Or you, who knows. But, so we're going to talk about 2015. I went through a lot of really hard bullying because of what I do. So I did videos about, and this is going to be a wee bit deep, and I was quite nervous to talk about it because it's stuff that I don't really talk about a lot. But I went through severe social anxiety because of what I do. And it's something that I really feel strongly about because there's young kids, your kids maybe, that are coming up and they want to be influencers. I want to be a YouTuber. People used to want to be, I don't know, like a rocket man. They used to want to be, I want to be a spaceman, I want to be a footballer and all these things, but you get a 9-year-old now will say, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be an influencer. So I would like to take this opportunity to try and give you some pre-warnings of what can happen, and also how you can, you know, use social media and all these things to your advantage to just really go out there and boost people's lives and make them better. So what happened in 2015 changed my life forever. It was horrible what happened to me, and I've never really publicly spoken about it. I was outed on social media for being a fraud, for making these videos, and it was because I had an ex-girlfriend and other people who had screenshots of me saying pretty nasty things. And that came from a place of insecurity when I was younger. I don't know what happened, but it was just things, you know, we've all been there where we've been through some sort of toxic relationship where someone has cheated on you, and so I've said some things that I didn't mean, and they were pretty mean. And so my whole, like, if you think about being bullied in your school, picture that being a whole city, an entire city of Glasgow, where I'm from. They really, really, and I'm not talking about just online, they went right through me to like get my phone hacked, to getting just absolutely beat up in clubs, nightclubs. Every nightclub I went to, people were pouring drinks over me, wanted to do silly things, you know, you go through these crazy thoughts of like, I don't want to leave the house, agoraphobia. And it was really, really hard, and I'm actually finding it really hard to speak about it right now. So I went through that, and I had this one friend in 2015 called Ryan. Ryan was my rock. He was someone who was there, who would fight people. Not that that's a good thing, but he would defend me because I had to be defended. I didn't have a security team. I was quite early on, I had a lot of views, and people think, oh no, you're just a social media influencer. I was getting more views than TV shows, so I was famous basically without any of the security, without any of the money or anything like that. I was just basically doing that, and people were coming up to me and they were kicking me in the street, they were abusing me online, abusing my family, and I had these serious thoughts going through my mind. 2016 came and I wanted to quit, but I didn't, and that was the turning point for me. 2016 was a great year, things were even better. I started finding myself a little bit more with the social media, and I was making even more impact than I was ever before, because I'd found that I'd got through that barrier. All these bullies and all these people that were trying to bring me down had given up. That's one thing that you need to learn. If you're being bullied, it's not forever. People get bored of that. If you can go through that, you can push through that barrier of being bullied and going through, like, this is actually like really, it means a lot to me right now, and I'm actually like, it's something I'm like, it's just too hard. So social media can be a nightmare, but if you've got a mission, my mission was to make just one person feel better, and that turned out to be like 2,000 people, 10,000, a million. That's much more powerful. And this one girl came up to me, and it was in an airport. It was my first trip going away to Berlin, and she wanted to kill herself. And she said to me, right, I'd never been travelling, I'd been in a relationship, and I broke up out of that relationship, and this girl came up to me and said, I wanted to kill myself, but because of you, I didn't do it. And that was just before I went to Berlin. I was just like, wow, this is the best thing I could ever do. This is great. My account was hacked in Berlin. Managed to get it back, obviously, but it forced me into just this crazy place where I was like, right, is this what I want to do? Yes, it is. In October that year, 2016, my best friend, the rock, the hero, the person who was there for me, fought for me, he killed himself. And he was literally everything to me, right? And this is just like, he was everything to me. I didn't know what was going through my mind, and I knew that I had to do something. So I made this decision that I wanted to go and travel around the world, because me and him used to always talk about it. We were like, right, what do you want to do? Right, yeah, me and you, we'll go away, we'll go to Spain, we'll go to Italy, we'll go to this, we'll go to New Zealand, and we'd look at pictures, travel pictures, all these things. But he was in a toxic relationship, and that toxic relationship was the thing that ultimately made him feel that he couldn't live anymore. So I took that, and I was like, never, ever would I allow somebody to put me through that, you know. He felt like he was stuck in the relationship, and he felt that if he was out of the relationship, he was nothing, because she would bring him down, be malicious, and I'm sure a lot of you people have been through that as well, myself included. So you push through these things that happen, right? And 2017 came, and I travelled to 13 countries actually 25 countries since 2016 to 2018, all because of this one thing. And every country I've went to, I've vlogged about it, I've posted about it, I've made videos about I've made videos about me being arrested and drunk or anything, like just silly things. I talk about my experiences, and I'm not shy to talk about them anymore. So, yes, I know you're probably thinking, right, I don't want to go through that with social media, but do you know what, it's the best thing I've ever done. And sometimes we're going to get onto you now, because all these good and bad things that we've went through, we're all here today. And that's all, whatever's happened, it's happened good and bad. You went through emotions of some sort, but we're all just here right now breathing. And so that's how we're going to get onto you. How do you find your inner strength? And how the things that I've went through that have made me feel like I'm shaking right now, I'm not going to lie. They made me who I am today. And things like just breathing and realising that we are present, and being in control of your breath. If you're in control of your breath, nobody can kill your inner peace. That's one thing that I learned, and it's stuck with me. So before I come on here, I don't do many public speaking events. I only do it online with a camera, selfie camera, and I can talk all day. But doing this is different, and I want to do better at it, and it's something that I'd like to travel around and talk about mental health and things like that, especially with social media, because there's an epidemic right now. And I know this has got nothing to do with cars and size, but there's people getting bullied. I mean, yes, they are. I suppose there's people that are going through that for their size online. You know, people on Instagram, kids being shamed for their size, being shamed. You can't wear this because you're plus size or curvy. You shouldn't wear a crop top because it's not, it's not ladylike or anything like that. Meanwhile, they have double standards. There's girls that are just wearing pretty much nothing, and because they're skinnier or something like that. And it's just, you must be thinking to yourself, what is going on? And I feel really strongly for these kids growing up. Maybe you haven't known it yourself. I don't have kids myself, so I'm just doing it from what I've been through. And I would like to be behind them, always show them that, if somebody's bullying you, it's always temporary, okay? If you're in a toxic relationship, you can leave it, you can get out of there, you can go on to do better things. So there's these two things called the circle of influence and the circle of concern. The circle of influence is things that you can control here and now, like how you treat your family, how you treat others, what you put into your mouth to eat, what you're digesting in news or reading in books. And I took that really, really seriously because there's the opposite one, which is the circle of concern, things that should not matter to you, and we've all got them right now, right here. You're worried about things that just don't even matter, like some sort of thing on the media that's made you angry. It might not even be politics or anything like that, but it's made you angry, and you're sitting there like fuming. You're sitting there fuming. Go out on a walk, please don't be fuming over these silly things that we're all, that are made to divide and make us all angry with each other. Your attitude is what matters right now, and if your attitude is one of positivity, no matter what size you are, no matter what your background you are, there's people they're literally living their whole life just sitting watching the news, and fair enough, I get that, but I've travelled to other countries, and sometimes you don't even hear what the news is over here or over there or whatever. You're just living, you're breathing, you're meeting people, you're having connections with people, with human beings. And so, if there's any message that I can give you today, is stop being concerned about things that don't really matter to you, and start looking at things like your family, because at the end of the day, we're all gonna die one day, and if you can, be there for your family, whether you've got quarrels or beef with them, you're gonna just try and make a connection. If it doesn't work, then drop it. Your past, you shouldn't be a slave to your past. Your past has happened. I've been bullied, I've been kicked in the street. My friend died. I'm sure you've all been through that as well. It's not a poor me situation here. We've all been through absolute rubbish things. And how do we get over them? We think about here and now, we breathe. We think of one good thing that we can do for ourselves today. Like, go drink some more water. I know that's really simple and stupid, but go drink some more water. Instead of sitting there and going, oh man, life is too tough. Where's the whiskey? And I've done that myself. I've had the beer, like, oh, let's just go for a few pints, man. I need to get my mind off that. How many of you have heard yourselves or anybody else saying that? Oh, I need a drink. I need a drink. You don't need a drink. you just want a drink because you want to forget things. And especially when I was travelling, because there was a lot of times where I was alone with my thoughts, drink was a huge part. And it's now no longer. I've tried to be sober. I have slipped up and stuff. I wasn't an alcoholic, but I just had that kind of associated alcohol with good times. And I associated the travelling because I had a few good experiences with people that you meet in hostels or hotels or whatever, and you're in a group, you're all drinking and stuff like that. And so I used to just do that every country because I was chasing that happiness that I got from each one, because I wasn't lonely and I wasn't alone with my thoughts. But the best vacations or holidays that I had were the ones where I went deep into my head. I didn't necessarily meet hundreds of people. I may have met a couple of people. Everything I wrote down here is literally I've not even looked at it. But the best ones are the things that I write before it. So I like to, write down things, and it actually gives me clarity. That's my own personal thing for myself that I do that's helped recently. Is when I sit there and I write, it actually makes me feel all this kind of rush that's going around in my head. It just calms it down, So find something that you do. One other good thing I did the other day was I did cold exposure training it's the Wim Hof method. I don't know if you've seen him. He's the Iceman. He does marathons in the snow. He does a lot of cold exposure training where he's swam. He's got hundreds of world records, and he's actually defying science right now. And a lot of the kind of I'm not going to go into the details because I don't know everything factually, but he's actually done a lot of methods that actually bring inflammation down in the body, and inflammation causes disease. So I've been doing that. Whether you believe in that or not, research it. There's a lot of scientific facts about it, and it's great. So I've been doing that. I've been breathing, meditating, whatever you do, just do something. Search a little bit. Go out there and try and go on a little adventure with yourself. That's why I'm saying, we're going to go on an adventure today. This is something that I'd like to encourage you to do, is to really, instead of sitting there blaming other people, start saying to yourself, what's a wee fun thing that I can do that's different? I've never tried meditation, never tried all these wacky things, so you can go out there and try different things and go and travel to a different country, and not for any other pleasure purpose I'm going to go and get that week off that I've been waiting for and go to Magaluf and just get wasted and forget the whole thing. Take a wee journey. It doesn't need to be far away. Go out to the countryside, take a wee day for yourself, and really just breathe, get happy with yourself, just look at the nature around about you, look at the beautiful things that are surrounding us, rather than thinking of the negative people and the negative past and the negative desires. And you will find that you will start flowing. And the best thing for me is it doesn't just happen up here. Your whole everyday life changes. Doors open for you. I walked into HMV to buy earphones, and a guy said I was glowing the other day, and I was like, I wasn't feeling glowing yesterday, but thank you, man. You're glowing too. You attract people when you start going on these little adventures. You don't attract the right people when you're saying, I'm just going to get smashed, maybe you do, I don't know. Me, personally, I don't. I meet people that want to destroy me. You're going to do it, man. I know we can do this together. We're a team. We're all humans. We're all on this crazy existence together, trying to figure things out. And if anybody tells you anything different, that you can't do these things because your weight, your size, or anything like that, tell them to stick their judgmental attitudes up their arse. Sassy snaps.
Thanks so much, Daniel. That's amazing. Thank you. And so honest and raw and fabulous. It's amazing when you see someone on social media and you just think that they don't think real thoughts and they don't think. Has anyone seen Daniel on social media? Hands up if you have. Okay, not enough. Daniel, I think my first video I saw of him was, I can't do a Scottish accent. Okay, pretend. No, it was the one that hit me was the one that. So you've got big thighs, mermaids, No, your thighs touch together. Or mermaid spies. You do it, will you?
If your thighs touch together, you're one step closer to being a mermaid.
And mermaids are awesome. So that was amazing. Thank you so, so, so much. And if you don't follow Daniel, he is on Instagram, he's on YouTube, Facebook, just Daniel Euan Henderson or Daniel_Euan Henderson at times, no? Just put in Daniel Henderson on Google, you'll find him, he's amazing. Okay, so thank you so, so much. We're going to be coming back with a catwalk show for you from the boutiques. We're just going to cue up some music and everything, so don't go anywhere too far because we're going to keep the show rolling. Is that okay? Is everyone having a good time? No, come on, is everyone having a good time? Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. It's really cool. Okay,